Hello, good afternoon traders. My name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is daily analytical report. Let's start the analysis of the market. First the calendar, because yesterday we had excellent data from US. ISM manufacturing PMI came much better than expectations. ISM prices paid as well, and this is positive for the American dollar, and American dollar is much stronger today. American dollar is using this data. In addition to that, overnight we had GDP from Australia, and it also came much better than expectations. We expected 0.7%, we got 0.9%, but the thing is that this better number, fails to create a demand for the Australian dollar, and we do not actually see on the charts that this number was better. So the thing is that most of the traders ignored this data, and we do not have any influence of this number on the price of the Australian dollar. And I'm not saying only about the Australian dollar with the American dollar, for example, but on other pairs as well, like with pound or euro. We also had PMIs from Eurozone, mixed. From Eurozone in general, better than expected. UK better than expected. Germany slightly worse, but the differences are very, very small. We had worse PMIs from China. That may be a negative factor for the Australian dollar, right? Because China is the biggest trading partner for Australia. And still to come, definitely super important event for the Canadian dollar, so rate statement and interest rate decision. This is especially interesting because yesterday we got a trading signal on the Canadian dollar, on the American dollar to Canadian dollar. So there is a sell signal, there is a buy signal there, and the thing is that this signal can be easily cancelled today because of this because of this fundamental event. Okay, so stay sharp if you have the Canadian dollar in your portfolio right now. Stay sharp because 5 hours you will have this data. I think we have moved to the charts now. So first we will deal with the instruments that we had that we analyzed yesterday, and later we will analyze those that we did not mention yesterday. First, let me start with the cable, because cable is doing what was expected. On Monday I wrote an analysis. We met yesterday, and today the price made new midterm lows. The thing is that there is a nice downtrend, the price making lower lows and lower highs. Most recently we bounced from the downtrend line and from the horizontal resistance here. We had the flag, we broke the lower line of the flag and went significantly lower. This is the place where the sell signal was triggered because of this bounce from those two resistances and breakout of those two supports, and boom, a drop. So there is a proper sell signal on cable. Euro to Australian dollar, here you can see exactly what I was telling you about, that there is no strength of the Australian dollar even despite the GDP data. There is a buy signal here, so negative signal for the Australian dollar. The thing is that the price today bounced from the horizontal support here. That creates kind of inverse head and shoulder formation with a clear neckline here. So that is an important place for this pair as well. Price closing above the green area can be a buy signal, but there is a buy signal from here, so that can be a confirmation of the buy signal. There is a positive sentiment even despite the fact that we are below super important resistance here, so that may be an invitation for a breakout and for a super long-term year lasting buy signal. Australian dollar to American dollar, here we do also we don't see a bullish strength. Yesterday candle was dangerous. Today's candles is testing those supports. Now we do have a small reversal, but it's really small. Why this level is important is because it were lows from the 2016. As you can see here, May, and here December. The price is testing those lows, and as you can see, the test, breakout attempt, and this bounce is really small. If the buyers want to think about the proper reversal, they need to act fast. This does not look good. It's not optimistic at all. It looks more like a willingness for a bearish breakout, right? So well, if we look on a daily chart, as long as we stay below the orange area, the sentiment is negative. The price coming back above the orange area and actually breaking this beautiful downtrend line will be a proper buy signal. And as for now, it's less likely to happen. So if you think about buying Australian dollar because it's very cheap, I would think about buying only here. Now euro to Canadian dollar. There was a combination of resistances. They all got beaten, so there is a nice proper buy signal here as long as we stay above the red line and the green support. There is a positive sentiment. It all looks very good, right? That's a false breakout, and we're paying price for the false breakout. Let's see this line. This line was broken. Let's change the color though. Here, breakout of the green line sorts the bullish sentiment out for the next few weeks or even months. Currently we do have a small reversal, but it may be a lot of lines here, right? So you see a congestion, and price is always moving in the way of least resistance. So if we have so many lines here, it will be hard for the price to break all those lines. It will be much easier to fly away, much easier. So actually I'm gonna look for a proper entry somewhere here. Euro to British pound. This green line is also very important. We're trying to come back again above this green line. The price, if the price would bounce from this line and break those blue areas, that would be a proper sell signal. But you can see that the price is trying to come back above this line. That was a false breakout. Maybe it's not so fake, so false after all. I was thinking more about the bearish movement, but I cannot argue with the price. I cannot tell the price what the price has to do, right? So if the price will go above the green line, that will be a buy signal, and I will have no argument to think otherwise. Okay. Euro to Japanese yen. That on euro to Japanese yen, we do have a long-term buy signal after the price defended this yellow area, and now the price is climbing higher, trying to break the midterm downtrend line. We defended this horizontal support here, 38.2. We have long tails here. That is a interesting situation. It's a pity that we went above this line and came back, because it would be much better for the price to go here and here. That would be an inverse head and shoulder formation. That can be a false bullish breakout, which actually is negative for me, as I consider the technical analysis here. As I look at the charts, I would prefer the price to be to avoid this kind of false fake breakouts. But anyway, the thing is that, to sum up the situation on euro to Japanese yen, as long as we stay above the green line, this bigger one, not this one. Okay, so let's change the color not to confuse anyone. As long as we stay above the green line, there is a proper buy signal. British pound to Australian dollar. Here also you don't see this better data from Australia. You do not see this here. As long as the price stays below the orange area, there is a sell signal. As long as the price stays above the yellow area, there is a buy signal. So in overall, we don't have any signal. Yes, we are in a sideways trend. There is still a chance for head and shoulder formation. Actually, well, what we should get is a downswing. The price should eventually break, go lower. And that would be really helpful if the price would create this head and shoulder pattern here, and the breakout of the yellow area would be proper sell signal. Okay, next one. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Strength of the Swiss franc continues. The price is on a super important long-term support. The breakout of the support is very likely, and most probably it will happen. There is this resistance here now. I would love to go short, but for me the price is too low. The place to go short was actually here, and I missed that unfortunately. But sell here, stop loss here, 70 pips. Now that would be a proper trade. But anyway, the sentiment is negative and we should see a further decline here. Euro to Australian dollar. Euro dollar yesterday tested 1.1530. So that is huge for the euro dollar. That is huge for the traders on this instrument. Why? Because you all know what's the importance of this line. Okay, this line is important since 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. That is a super important level for this instrument. It was support, then a resistance for some time, support again. And today we are testing this line as a support again. We do have a bounce, but the thing is that the proper buy signal in it will be really sweet, will be triggered once the price will break the blue line. Because when the price will break the blue line, that will be an inverse head and shoulder formation. Inverse head and shoulder formation will be created on a horizontal support, and that would be supported by the false breakout here. And maybe we'll also have a no, we won't have a hammer anymore, but it will be supported by those two long tails on the horizontal support. So yes, it will look interesting, definitely interesting, but for the proper buy signal we need to see the price closing above this blue line. And now American dollar to Canadian dollar, where the price is trying to create a double top formation, but the thing is that in the long term we do have a proper buy signal. So there was an uptrend, then a correction, and we broke the upper line of this wedge, which triggers as a buy signal. Okay, fair enough. After the breakout, the price creates a flag. Flag is also a trend continuation pattern, so we should see a further upswing. The price breaks the upper line of the flag, which gives us a buy signal. Later, actually yesterday, the price breaks the horizontal resistance here. Resistance, 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 resistance. Then the price uses that as a support after a very nice wedge on the smaller time frames. But remember, I don't trade based on the smaller time frames. It's just for the purposes of this seminar. That's also trend continuation pattern. Interestingly, huge wedge, smaller flag, very small wedge. It's all positive. Even the price can break the yellow line. I think that we do have a buy signal as long as we stay above the blue line here, right? That will be a proper buy signal. So what we may get here is a bounce, bounce, and boom, and that will create an inverse head and shoulder formation here, and that can be pretty beautiful setup. And now British pound to Japanese yen. And British pound to Japanese yen is respecting those four resistances. So uptrend line here, downtrend line here, horizontal resistance here, and a correction equality pattern. We bounced from it a few days ago, and since that we're going down. Yesterday the price was trying to create a small reversal. Okay, but they failed actually. They failed to lift the price higher. Today we are going down again, and breakout of the orange area will be a strong sell signal on British pound to Japanese yen, and that can be a beautiful sell signal here with a proper aim, at least here. Yes, that can be a very interesting selling opportunity. Okay, we finished on this instrument. Let's analyze the rest. What we are having here: Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, bounce from the resistance, support. Well, we are in a symmetric triangle pattern, so not much is happening here. Euro to New Zealand dollar now. Yes, here we are, Euro to New Zealand dollar. We are expecting the bullish bounce here. That is a proper buy signal, but the price is on yearly highs. Actually, we're on the highest level since the September 2015. So that's not the best place to buy. There is this horizontal resistance, this. Okay, where we can think about buying. Okay, here. So for example, price declining to this point and bouncing from this support. That can be an interesting trading opportunity, because well, broken resistances like to become support, so it would be nice to test this and then climb higher. Let's check the next one. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. What do we have here? Not much. We're on this horizontal support, still fighting. That's not the best place to open a position, unfortunately. And New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc. That is a strong sell signal, a proper one, beautiful one. Those instruments are too connected with euro dollar, so there is no reason to analyze them. British pound to New Zealand dollar, absolutely lovely setup. We for the buy signal, we need to wait for the breakout of the green line. There is no shortcuts here. We broke those highs, okay, fair enough, but breakout of those highs means nothing. For the buy signal, we need to see the breakout of the green line first. We're gonna leave this because maybe it will happen this week or maybe next one. Let's check the emerging markets currencies in this example. We are checking the American dollar to Russian ruble. That is an ascending triangle pattern, so there is a horizontal resistance here and ascending support, inclined support. There is a symmetric triangle here, so you can see that American dollar to Russian ruble respects triangles, and this is promoting a further upswing, which should bring us a buy signal on this instrument. The same thing on euro to ruble. Well, we are very high here. That is a huge change in the price of the ruble. Now let's check gold, because gold had this ultimate bounce from the long-term uptrend line. Let's see how it goes. It does not look good. Remember this. Fibonacci's are in line with all those levels here, 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 and here. Most recently, what the price did is bounce from the 38.2 and went lower. This is a negative sign for the buyers, and there is no buy signal on gold. Buy signal on gold will be created when the price will break the 23.6. As for now, this is less likely to happen. And now WTI. Okay, WTI. Look at the session yesterday. Stronger dollar was one of the influences, and the price is the price of the oil is on a back foot. It didn't happen in a random place, because that's a false breakout above this horizontal resistance. And in my opinion, in the next few days, the sentiment for oil is rather negative, and we should see the test of this horizontal support, and that can create a head and shoulder pattern, which can be potentially very negative signal for oil. Now Bitcoin. Bitcoin is climbing higher, quite surprisingly. But in a way, the situation is clear. We have this long-term ultimate resistance support. We are having this resistance, and as long as we stay below the green line, there is no buy signal for Bitcoin. Breakout of the yellow line, sell signal. Breakout of the green line, buy signal. I'm sorry. Okay, and let's check indexes. Maybe DAX. Because DAX is aiming, well, aimed already, but DAX is testing today important horizontal support, which was with us at the end of June and at the beginning of, in the middle of August. Resistance here, support here. Once this support will be broken, the price will aim for the neckline of the head and shoulder formation, and breakout of this lower line can be potentially a super strong sell signal and the beginning of the end of the prosperity. Time for a recession? Well, we will see. Horizontal resistance, dynamic support, one of many, another dynamic support. And the thing is that S&P 500 does not care at all about that. They are inside of the flag formation here and here, and most probably this formation will end up with a test of this line and a breakout of the upper line and new all-time highs, because that's what the history is showing us. I know many of you see the end of the upswing here, but you're not the first who saw the end of the upswing here, 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 and what we have every single time, what do we have? New highs, new all-time highs. So don't be this guy who sees the reversal on American stocks for the past 3 years and thinks that it's happening. No, it's gonna happen once we will see this on the charts. So far it's a wishful thinking. It's not happening. There is still a positive sentiment on the American stocks. European stocks, European shares is something different. But in America everything is great. So let me recap the situation for you. Cable, sell, euro to Australian dollar, positive, negative, euro to Canadian dollar, positive, euro to British pound. Oh, we can see the comeback above the green line as we speak, so that's positive. Euro to Japanese yen, that's positive. Next one is British pound to Australian dollar, negative. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, negative, definitely. Euro dollar, buy signal when the price will break the blue line. American dollar, Canadian dollar, positive. Watch out for the interest rate decision. British pound, Japanese yen, negative. Euro, New Zealand dollar, positive. Negative here. Gold, negative. Oil, negative. Bitcoin. Well, we have chances for a bullish upswing. DAX, negative. S&P 500, still positive. So dear traders, this is the situation on the market right now. I hope you enjoyed that and you found setups for yourself. Thanks very much for watching the daily analytical report. Now a short break, and after that a webinar about the basics of the platform. I will teach you how to use the platform. Okay, thanks very much. Goodbye and see you soon.